developments within the capital city. If you're just joining us, you are welcome. We are now entering a discussion where we take note of the plight of persons affected by dwarfism. There are over 200 forms or conditions of dwarfism, and in Uganda it's estimated that 5,000 people are affected. This is according to the Little People of Uganda Association. That's an NGO and a support organization. Now, dwarfism is described as a medical condition that leads to short stature as a category of disability. World over, people of short stature face social and physical barriers that affect their life choices and other opportunities. Focusing on Uganda, leaders are concerned that the status quo, and are calling upon the central government to consider. The word that has been employed here is to remember, but we ought to consider and come up with aid mechanisms. To expound more on this conversation, I'm joined this morning by Joel Musana, the Executive Director of the Foundations of Persons Affected by Dwarfism, FPAD. Thank you very much for making it on the show, Mr. Musana. Good morning.
Good morning.
Take us through and help us better understand the condition of dwarfism and the prevalence, especially within Uganda. But before you do that, perhaps you would love to expound on the association and its work.
Thank you. Good morning, and morning to everyone who is viewing us. My name is called Musana Joel,
yes,
the Executive Director of Foundation of Persons Affected by Dwarfism. This organization, Foundation of Persons Affected by Dwarfism, was established in 2016 because of the different situation we are going through. The main organizations are advocating for the rights of persons with disabilities. So we found out that persons affected by dwarfism, we are being left out. Yet we have our unique futures. The work we are doing is that we do advocate for our rights because we know that we have challenges facing us. Apart from being short, we have other internal challenges we do face, accessibility, socially, health-wise. So we came up with our members and formed a group called Foundation of Persons Affected by Dwarfism. Dwarfism is a medical condition that leads to short stature. As I add on, you find that there are over 200 conditions that leads to short stature, all types, and each type with its own, with its distinct features. You may find that the way you find a little person like I in Uganda is different from a little person in America,
that's right,
in Canada, just like that. So we have different features. You may find that some are tall, some are very short. So the shortness, it is studied that it is 4 feet, that is the average, their height, 4 feet and 10 inches.
4 feet and 10
yeah,
inches.
It ranges from 1.
When you go below 4 feet and 10 inches, you're suffering from dwarfism.
Dwarfism. And because it is a medical term, it has to be tested.
It has to be tested.
And in Africa here, you find that it's only South Africa handling it. Other countries, they don't have the facilities. One time we are trying to partner with Kenya to get some doctors to do this test at Kosu, and I've given her the support.
Kosu, that is on Entebbe Road.
Entebbe Road.
Yeah.
But that's when the lockdown came for COVID. We had to start to keep at that.
Has there been any progress after that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. So you find that we have futures, though we are short. You find that the futures, you may see that you see that our limbs, they are stunted.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they are stunted. You may find that the trunk is like that one of an average person.
Yes.
When the limbs are short.
When the limbs are
you may find that some other little persons, the legs are tall, but when the trunk is what? Is short. So we have different futures. Some have big heads. So we have futures depending on the type or the condition of dwarfism.
Okay. There's a lot, of course, that is still unknown about the condition, and you'll be taking us through the latest research into that. But what's the difference between dwarfism and the condition of being short? Because you could encounter a short person who may be as tall as 4 foot and they are not suffering from dwarfism. What explains that?
As I've told you, that even you may find an average person, but when he has that condition of dwarfism, you get me? When he has that condition of dwarfism,
Yeah.
this comes when gives birth and the offspring is a little person, is a shorty person. It is shown within that child. Then you find that.
So lineage or genes are also a cause of dwarfism.
Yes, genes is a cause. Some other people, like maybe, for instance, one time the president called me out and is to ask the doctor, what is the cause of this? Is it malnutrition? What is it? You may find that some of them are short because of bad feeding.
Bad feeding.
But because
at
this
early stages in life.
early stages.
Yeah.
But because this is within the blood, it has to be tested to find out whether this person has a dwarfism condition. But because we are lacking that facility, we are basing on the height. That's why you may find that we are having a short person and taking that person to be a person affected by what? Dwarfism, when the your sense is not.
Okay.
So this is a condition which needs to be tested to identify whether this person has a dwarfism condition. Because there even has some health issues which is embedded within this person. You may find some organs within the body, they are not functioning.
Yeah.
They are not properly formed.
Okay.
Like the heart. Yes.
All right, so that means a dwarf can be born into a family or have siblings that are not dwarfs.
Yes.
That
can happen. And you find that there are many dwarfism persons, but having children who of average height.
Average height, yeah.
So
that means a dwarf can give birth to a child of normal average height.
Right.
Okay.
You may find that even some of us, we are born from average height people.
Yeah,
including myself.
Yeah.
My parents are tall. And that is why you find that some of the fathers, they are denying what? Paternity.
Yeah, I
children.
was just going to that as one of the challenges that people living with the condition of dwarfism face. How are you navigating that as an association?
The way we are doing is that because that is a gap. It is a challenge that parents, especially the fathers, they are denying for paternity. So what we do is that we form groups of parents to support other parents. In case a child is born in a community or in a home, they can talk to that person and give support. They counsel that this is something which comes. It is God-given. Because we find that the way our fathers explain that in my grandparents or in our generation there wasn't a little what? A little person. How comes? Maybe there is something, my wife did something outside without my knowing. Okay. So the family ends up what? Breaking. So we are trying to form up what? Groups of parents to counsel such cases.
And that is the core of your education and raising awareness campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
Even we go ahead, because there are those who are in schools. You may find that during when we are joining schools, we are being left out. Because they could say, touch your opposite ear.
Opposite ear.
You may find that you can reach 50 or 30 or 40 when you cannot reach. Like me.
Sure.
I'm in my 40s, but I cannot touch the other opposite what? Ear with my hand. So that means that if the system was like that, then by now, I wouldn't be at school.
Okay.
So we are trying to do the sensitization within the community. We talk to teachers. Some children have gone to schools, but because of the condition they face at schools, we do talk to school administration how they can handle these children. Yes.
Has there been a positive response when it comes to how teachers or even schools regard children or learners who are dwarfs, so to speak?
Yeah, we are grateful that teachers have picked interest. They have given positive response to our children. Because some children used to abandon schools because of the negativity which teachers and students used to show these children. But because of because we go and talk to the school administration, they have welcomed these children, and even to the extent of giving them reasonable desks Because with time, you may find that when children sit, the legs dangle in the air.
Yeah,
So with time, these legs get numbness that can lead to other disabilities. So the schools have worked with parents. We have contact persons within districts who have reached, who talk to these teachers, the school administration, how children with disability, with dwarfism, can be handled.
Very quickly, there are a lot of government interventions that are being done for special interest groups, and I would like to suppose that people with dwarfism lie under persons with disability sector. Have you been attended to? For example, Emyoga, the Parish Development Board has been rolled out. Is there specific spaces where you are able to access these funds? Because at the end of the day, there are economic activities that you are engaged in.
Thank you. Our government has done a lot, because at first you may find that even the Disability Act of 2020, little persons have been included as persons with disabilities. According to Schedule 3, Section 1, Subsection 6, you may find that little persons are persons with disabilities. And the government is enforcing inclusion. But then there are some gaps within this inclusion. You may find that when a little person comes, because he has all the body parts, you may find that if you want to access something, they say that you are not a person with this ability, because you have all the body eyes, you have the eyes, you have the legs, you have the hands, so you can do everything.
That's right.
Yet there are other things we cannot do. We cannot fight in the mainstream groups.
Sure.
If we go the disability side, then we are limited out. Because we have all the body parts. They say, no, for you are not a person with this abilities. This needs an awareness.
In other words, there is an absurd reality that height is not considered. Many do not see it as the lack of height, for example, as a disability.
Yes.
It's just a normal condition.
A normal condition. Whereby we have limitations there. So we find ourselves being left out in some of the programs. Which needs to be intervened by government to come up and support with other
that lies
players.
Under the Ministry of Labor, Social Welfare,
even gender, because that's most of our issues are be addressed. Yes.
All right. For general information purposes, in Uganda we have the Batwa tribe, widely considered as one of the very shortest across the globe. Now, among the Batwa, you could find somebody who is really short and not more than 4 feet tall. How does the classification not capture them as dwarfs?
Thank you for that question. It has been a myth, even we are coming out, that they could consider us that we are Batwas. We are pygmies because of the short stature. But when you sense, if you put the Batwa and a person with dwarfism, you may find that a person with dwarfism has more challenges, because they can, mobility is a challenge.
Mobility is a challenge.
The joints are not coordinated. We have deformities within the body, the bones. Yet the Batwa, you may find that they can do most of the work apart from being short. They can go into bush, they can fight, they can do everything. You may find that they don't have more challenges like a little person. It's just the shortness which brings us together, but the challenges of little persons are many.
Quickly, in 30 seconds, where are the headquarters of the Foundation of Persons Affected by Dwarfism?
Dwarfism, or our office, Foundation Persons Affected by Dwarfism, we are located in Chevando, Chevando Central. That's where our offices are, though we have the regional branches across the country. But we have not established many branches across, because we are just coming up.
Oh, you're just coming up.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Joe Musana, many thanks for the insight and the perspective on this condition that is very less understood in communities across the country. He is the Executive Director of the Foundation of Persons Affected by Dwarfism. Now, let's go to our man on the ground, Stephen Mbide. Stephen Mbide has not escaped the trend and of course the euphoria that is the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. I'm told he is standing by with some of the individuals on the social scene who are keen on celebrating Valentine's Day. A very good morning, Stephen. Where are you at? And take it on.
Nandibadde singa nalemwa ekyokukufuna nandibadde mulu singa nalemwa ekyokukufuna ku bukakamu bwange abawala balijo